All right, all right, all right. Come on in, guys. Come on in. We are here. We are here. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go. Let's go. Go ahead, take this moment. Tag your friends, tag your family members. Let them know Spiritual Success TV is live. All right, we're ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. All right, I'm just going to pull this up over here and see if we're on. Yes, we're here. Let's go. All righty, let's go, beloved. Let's go ahead and activate the success mind, and then we'll get to some greetings, and we are ready to go. Go ahead and sit with your feet flat, back straight, hand on heart, hand on core. This is so important because this is going to open you up to receive on a deeper level. You just don't want to hear with your surface physical hearing. You want to hear deep with your spirit. Hand on heart to send the signal we're ready to calm down. Take a good healing deep breath in and exhale. Allow yourself to relax, beloved, from the crown of the head down to the soles of the feet. Drop them shoulders from your ear and relax. Deep breath in. Exhale. Turn the focus and attention inward to the rich inner life of the kingdom within. We want to tap into the infinite mind of consciousness, the infinite potential and possibility that is within. That's where we want to go. Deep breath in and exhale. All right, beloved, we are here. Yay, 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 yay. Great Grand Rising. Reese, Great Grand Rising. Good to see you. Come on in, guys. Come on in. We are here. We're going to dive in and we're going to get started. We've been on a journey for the last several weeks, and I'm going to see if I can get through this today. I'm telling you, I'm way up here somewhere in the spirit. I'm so excited just about where we are and where we travel. We started several weeks ago. Great Grand Rising, Brian. Love you so much. All right. We started several weeks. If you remember, several weeks ago, as we were in that beautiful triple number 8, and we were looking at new beginning mindset in the 8th month. And then I asked the question about 3 weeks ago, are you ready to create miracles? And then from there, we went several places that caused us. Let me just look. We went several places because what's on today is on my mind. We went several places that caused us to take a look at our shadow self, right? So I asked them the question, are you ready to create miracles, when we were in the month of new beginning, making a quality decision that we were going to step over into all that was already available and moving and swirling around in your atmosphere. And so then the first thing I came back with after that is, you have to release loyalty to the past. Remember that? Having that loyalty to the past, romanticizing the past. And then after that, we wanted to go down and dig a little deeper. And then I asked the question, are you gaslighting yourself last week, right? And that's all about when we have all these conversations with ourselves and start convincing ourselves that we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we don't have what it takes, nobody wants what we have to offer. And this is how you gaslight yourself. You play yourself, you trick yourself. You know, everything is trying to show you that you are powerful, that you are intelligent. Some of you all are just brilliant. You're geniuses, really. And everything about you is trying to show you that you are so unique. There is not anyone like you. But we play with ourselves and we listen to the voice of the ego mind. And then we end up fooling ourselves. If you can identify with this, talk back to me. Especially those of you that have ever had, it doesn't even matter if you was up on a stage, if you were performing, if you were maybe a praise and worship leader, if you're a supervisor on a job, a team lead, it doesn't matter what it is. When we get an ability I'm somewhere else today, y'all. Excuse me. When you have an opportunity to display the excellence of who you are through your giftings and your talents, and you do a fantastic job, and everybody tells you you did a fantastic job, but this is how we gaslight ourselves, because then that critical inner voice, the ego mind, flesh mind, carnal minds, start telling you blew it. Oh, you should have said this, you should have said that. Oh, why did you do this? And this is how we end up fooling ourselves until we talk ourselves out of the phenomenon that we are. We start talking ourselves out of it. So then today, when I wrote to the community over the weekend, I asked, are you ready to see your blind spots? Because we all have them. Notice what's happening. Notice the path and the journey that we are. Because what we've done, even in our religious experiences, and thank God for the times that we did go and took a gospel, and got a little hit, it relieved some of the immediate pressure where you could still cope. All right. That was then. And so what we would do is that we got addicted to that fix. Y'all talk back to me. We got addicted to that fix where when we went to church, we was craving and needing the outbursting of the spirit to fall so that we can get some relief. But notice where we are. God in this season wants you to wake up and recognize that ye are gods. As the sacred text says, that you were created in the image and likeness of the Almighty Creator, and that we are here in this earthly experience to come into mastery so that we can operate like all the masters that have come before us with sacred messages to demonstrate to us Jesus the Christ, Yeshua the Christ, right? The one that we have come through that pantheon, came to demonstrate how to operate as God in this 3D physical experience. Grand Rising, come on, y'all, give me a Grand Rising. Thumbs up, like the video. Do that for me, please. That's so important for the algorithm. Okay, I'm going to look at the email that I sent out over the weekend. And if you're not getting emails from me, go to the website, elonasanders.com, and on the side, just fill out the little form there, all right? So we asked the question, are you ready to see your blind spots? We all have them. Blind spots, watch this, are areas in your awareness where you cannot see or acknowledge certain behaviors, thoughts, or emotional patterns. We just can't seem to see them. And so now, I know my daughter knows that I'm live. Let me just, tell her that I'm live. All right. We just can't see them. So when we can't see, thank you for the like. Come on. When we can't see from Facebook, when we cannot see certain behaviors, thoughts, or emotional patterns, these are often subconscious or unconscious blocks that can prevent you from recognizing truths about yourself. Can you just put your hand on your heart and say, I'm ready to know the truth about myself? Watch this. We're going to go a little further. Let me put these little helpers on, right? There is a part of you, watch this, there's a part of you that prefers not to see your blind side. There's a part of you that prefers not to see them, but they attempt, the blind spots, they attempt to show themselves through your results. Your blind spots can be the underpinning or the anchoring of your limiting beliefs, preventing you from living your desired life. Feminine Couture, okay, thanks for joining us live. Great Grand Rising, thanks for joining us live, Femme Couture. All right, so watch this now. Your blind spots, right? We prefer not to see them, but they attempt to show themselves through your results. That's why I always say, beloved, as you look out, you are looking within. If you want to see and know what's going on within you, just look out at your environment, particularly look at your personal space, look at your associations, look at your relationships. All of that is showing you. And you wonder why. Watch this, how we always gaslight ourselves, right? And we fool ourselves and trick ourselves psychologically not to see what we're seeing, right? And so we go through these cycles where we keep attracting the same kind of people, keep getting the same kind of results, right? And then we look out to blame others about the experience that we're having. Those are indicators of your blind spots trying to tell you and show you what you're missing about yourself. Yes, I'm ready to know and stop avoiding it. Yes, Brian, yes. It's time to stop avoiding the truth. I'm in the same place. I often tell you guys, we are doing life together, right? It's time to stop avoiding the truth because something wonderful, amazing, and magnificent is waiting for us when we are ready to see the truth about ourselves. Remember the old little gospel song. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. That's so old. Some of y'all probably don't remember. Can y'all help me out? Come on now, my little old school church folks. If y'all remember that song, let me know if you remember, because that's an old one. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of, not my mother, not my father, not my sister, not my brother. Then they say not the teacher, not the preacher, not the deacon. It's me. So our number one spiritual success principle, y'all know it by now, right? I take 100% responsibility for my spiritual success. I will not blame anyone. I will not blame anyone or anything for what appears to be lacking in my life. So let's go a little further because we got some good stuff to get to today, right? So your blind spots are also, watch this, the underpinning or the anchoring, limiting beliefs that's preventing you from living the life you desire. We're going somewhere today. Blind spots develop for several reasons, beloved. Number one, it's about your ingrained habits, right? Can somebody talk back to me? I want you thinking right now. I want you to think about at least 2 habits right now that you know is not serving you. It's no longer serving you. As a matter of fact, you're able to see now that it's in the way. It's in the way. Yes, Reese said, oh, thank you. I remember. It's me, oh Lord. I'm ready to accept the truth. Yes, thank you, Reese. Sometimes I'll be dating myself. All right. So I want you thinking right now, and this is where we practice vulnerability, right? I want you to think of 2 habits right now that no longer serve you. Watch this. It served you yesterday. There was a time in your life when those habits served you, but now you're waking up and you're beginning to see, okay, I'm the one doing this. I am the one making the choices. Can somebody talk to me? Give me some hand claps, thumbs up. If you have recognized that you're making the choices, that's why we say in our community that awareness is your key to freedom. Because when you become consciously aware that it's me and you come out of victim mode and victim mentality and you recognize that I'm making the choices, I'm choosing no matter what it is, the relationship you're in or not in, you make the choice. The job or career you're in, you're making the choice or not the choice. But notice how we gaslight ourselves, how we make these choices and then we want to complain about everything that we have attracted into our sphere of influence. Y'all don't want to talk to me today. Come on and talk back to me. Grand Rising, Prophet, thanks for joining us live. Yes. All the Spiritual Success Community, right? I want to say that again because this is the real deal. Take a deep breath in and exhale. You are making the choices. And then we attract these things and anchor these things, but then we want to complain and blame everyone else about it. So when we think about blind spots, your blind spots develop because of ingrained habits. And I'm waiting for somebody. Tell me. We practice invisibility and vulnerability. A habit that no longer serves you. A habit that no longer serves me is soothing myself with certain foods that my body is saying, I don't want that anymore. I don't want that anymore. Stop giving me that. That's a habit. You're just so used to eating a certain kind of food, right? What else? Come on, y'all, help me out. A habit that no longer serves you. It could be oversleeping. It could be procrastinating, right? Even though there's really no such thing as procrastination in itself, there's always something underlying procrastination. It has to do with, most of the time, perfectionism, comparison, or simply just not believing in yourself enough to get up and move forward. All right. So ingrained habits, number one. Number two, blind spots develop because they can be a defense mechanism. Y'all better talk back to me in here today. They can be a defense mechanism, right? A defense mechanism that you use to ward off certain things that you don't want to experience, things that you don't want to talk about, things that you don't want anyone bothering you about, right? Defense mechanisms. All right, take a deep breath because we're going down deep right here. We're going down deep. Beloved, if you don't take authority and take charge of your life by doing these things, you never get to be the creator God that we are here to be in this 3D realm. So blind spots develop because of ingrained habits. Number two, defense mechanisms. Number three, emotional traumas. Things that we have experienced in our lifetime cause us to have these blind spots where we can't see, right? Number four, and this is a big one that we deal with in our community, is unexamined beliefs that form throughout your life. Unexamined beliefs. In other words, you're still believing things and you've never done a belief audit. You never took time to try to figure out, why in the world do you believe what you believe? Why do you think what you think? What is the purpose of all of this, Dr. E? The purpose is bringing us all to a place where we are being honest enough with ourselves, because again, back to the top, we cannot blame anyone or anything because we have the power of choice. And this is a beautiful thing. Can somebody talk back to me? Throw up your hands and say, I'm so happy, I'm so glad that I have the power to choose, that I have the ability to make choices, and I get to choose. Some of us have some deeply ingrained beliefs that we're not aware of because we're not taking time to say, okay, as Reese said, and as Brian said, I'm ready to know the truth about myself, and I don't want to avoid the truth about myself any longer. Y'all don't know how powerful that is. How powerful that is, and it's going to show up. Yes, Reese said my procrastination is usually avoiding or putting off dealing with something. Yes, that's what doesn't really serve me well at all. In the end, things become bigger or harder to deal with. That is so powerful, Reese, and it's true. It is so true. And many of us do that. And this is what I have come to know over the years of doing energy management. And I know you all are experiencing this too. Things are not as big and as scary as your mind try to tell you. Remember, the ego mind has a job, and it think it's doing its job by keeping you safe, right? by keeping you small, by keeping you comfortable. But the more we put off of things that we know we need to do, that we don't want to deal with, it gets bigger and it gets harder to deal with. And then a lot of times when we go to do it and break it down into what we call in our community the teeny tiny step principle, break it down to that teeny tiny step, the break it all the way down and take that little tiny step, one little teeny tiny step at a time. And then we keep doing that and we get to the compound effect where the little steps, you don't have to do everything at one time. Just make a decision, make a choice to do one little thing, right? Eliminate one thing or add one thing. In our community, we want to focus more on adding, because when you add something good, when we use the tool called the 1 in 7 in our community, right? And we want to create a new winning habit. That new winning habit is not about fighting the old habit that we want to go away. So what we do is we focus on where we want to go, what we want to create. And we take that one thing that we want to move forward in and then ask ourselves, why this decision? Why are you making this decision? Why do you want this, right? Yes, Brian, this is powerful. People pleasing is the number one item that no longer serves me well, and that I have to remind myself daily not to do it. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, that is so powerful. And it's good that we know that, because nothing is going to happen to you if you say no and mean what you say. But the ego mind wants to tell us that people are not going to like you. You know, you're going to lose something if you put yourself first. Hey, Terry, thanks for joining us. Love you, Terry. Thank you. Thanks for being here. All right, right? So people pleasing is a big thing. And I know, can any of y'all identify with Brian? Have you ever been there? People pleasing? Yes. And that's good. The more you bring this stuff to the forefront and allow yourself to be visible, this is a safe space. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Nobody's judging anybody here. We're all doing this together, right? Okay, number 2, all right? Now, we talked about the underpinning, the blind spots being underpinnings that's holding and anchoring these limiting beliefs in place. Comfort zones, y'all better talk back to me. Comfort zones, isolating and insulating yourself supports your blind spots, keeping them out of your conscious awareness. So the more that you stay in your bubble, stay in your comfort zone, isolating yourself, insulating yourself with everything that affirms you and keeps you comfortable in your little sphere, all of that will keep you from becoming aware of your blind spots. So on our spiritual success journey, you know, the first step, the first dimension we always hit is awareness. Because the more you can become aware of yourself, the more you're going to know God. Y'all know the saying, somebody talk back to me. The more you get to know yourself, the more you're going to get to know God. That's why we cannot be afraid to really see ourselves. Some we was together, throw up your hands and say, Lord, let me see my blind spots, right? Blind spots serve, I'm looking at the email, blind spots serve as protective measures, but can also hold you back from transformation. So if you are ready to transform, you are ready to create new frequencies that will create new realities, it's time to come on in. That's what this gathering is going to be about for the 8 weeks. It's going to be all about positioning us, right, to vibrate differently so that we create a different frequency, literally tuning into a different channel so that we can begin to create. All right. So this is how blind spots create. Now, why do you have blind spots? As we said, number one, you want to protect yourself. This is deep. This is deep right here. Because all of us have these mechanisms where we are protecting ourselves. Your mind will often shield you from painful or uncomfortable truths about yourself, creating these blind spots. Conditioning. You have blind spots because of conditioning. Watch this. Early childhood experiences, cultural norms, or societal expectations shape your perception that can distort how you see yourself or the world. Remember, your perception shapes your reality, right? The ego mind, like I said, its job is to just keep you comfortable, don't want you to face inconvenience truths, because let me slow down and say this, because whatever the story is that you're telling yourself in this season, your blind spots are inconvenient truths that will interrupt that. So this is why I'm being led to call us in for 8 weeks so that you have covering, you have protection, and you have support as we start doing some of these things you cannot do alone and shouldn't do alone. You need that support, you need that covering, you need that insight as different things begin to come up, because we're dealing with years of conditioning, years of states of being, right? And your ego mind is there to help you avoid inconvenient truths or admitting you're wrong. Anybody know anybody that can never be wrong about anything? And if they are wrong about something, it's something that still makes them seem like they're right. Many of us have been there, right? Then this is the one I want to get to that's going to really help you. Lack of external feedback. With reflection from others, it's easier to notice behaviors or thoughts that are hijacking your success. But many of us put ourselves in a position where we won't allow feedback from others. Now, let me give you one caveat here. One of the ways that you want to begin to notice your blind spots, right? And I hope y'all got the email, because there's so much more here that I know we won't get to today, right? Watch this. Seek honest feedback from others. But let me give you the caveat. You want to ask people that you trust, watch this, that you know there is no ulterior motive, there's no hidden agenda where you're concerned. If you know that people are already biased against you, they have a hidden agenda where you're concerned, or they want something from you because they constantly manipulate you, those are not the people to ask. Those are not the people to ask. You don't even want to ask somebody who says, well, I tell the truth all the time. You know, that's just who I am. I'm just going to speak the truth. Not that person either. Because you don't want somebody that is so brutal that they damage you with the spirit and the energy and the force that they're speaking to you with, right? Excuse me. You don't want to ask people who are just disrespectful. But every one of you, God, the universe would not leave you without someone in your life that have already spoken truth about you, but you just didn't want to hear it. But get a trusted person that you know have your best interest at heart and ask them, what are my blind spots? What is it that I don't see about myself, right? What is it that I don't see about myself? Sometime when you're in a relationship, your spouse or other party can be telling you what your blind spot is, but you can't hear it. Because when you're in a dynamic of a relationship, especially if it's a spouse, your life partner, right? There's a dynamic that goes on in there where even if they try to tell you, you won't hear it because you get defensive. But that external feedback, right? Asking someone, and even before you get there, the number one thing I would really highly recommend you to do is to really practice self-reflection, meditation, getting into the spirit, getting into a meditative state, and then asking the Holy Spirit, your higher self, God's self, whatever language works for you. What am I not seeing about myself? Watch this, and this is how you're not going to fall into a trap. What am I not seeing about myself that's causing me to have this delayed or prolonged experience with whatever it is that you know should be changing in your life? And if you can't get to it on your own with the help of the Holy Spirit, because sometimes, watch this, beloved, again, this is why we're coming together for the 8 weeks, because sometimes things are buried under so many layers that we have to peel back the layers to get to it. And in my community, y'all are familiar with, the 7 levels of why. So what that means is that the first answer that comes up most of the time is not it. It's just a surface answer. We have to keep drilling down until we get to what the real deal is. And a lot of times when you drill down to the real deal, you will have some kind of reaction. It could be emotional, it could be tears, it could be laughter, you're going to have some type of reaction to let you know. It could even be peace that pass all understanding. But the blind spots is how we work through our shadow self. So in our community, in the spiritual success community, we have tons of lessons in our success lounge on how to work with your shadow self and looking at your shadow codes, because you've lived your whole life with your shadow self. And the reason why you're here is because your God self is ready to emerge. So I want to say this as we come to a close. Anybody have any questions? I want to get to your questions. I want to answer questions. I'm thinking about really starting to come one evening, probably a Wednesday or Thursday evening, where we do nothing but answer questions from the work that we're doing together on these lives on Sunday. Dr. E, yes, I'm just thinking about making more work for myself. But when we come together, right, when we come together for the 8 weeks here, and you see this, right, new frequencies for new realities, reset your mindset for success. 8 weeks we're going to come together. There is so much that is happening, and I know there is a unique deposit that is waiting to be poured into you. It seems to me this year, for myself, it's like so much has come in, and I'm carrying so much that I have not been able to release prophetically all that's happening. Y'all know things are happening and moving so fast. But the core of what I want to get across to you is that we are being prepared to transition and transform into the new earth that's here, the new ways of being. Every system in the 3D realm is crumbling. And it doesn't matter what side folks are on. They are, I'm going to say, the old way, the old gods are fighting to put those bricks back in place. But if we're going to be a fit for the future, a fit for where God is where God is projecting us to, then there is a deposit that we need to receive. And making the room and the space and the new wineskin to hold it, we're going to have to release shadow codes, release blind spots. The good thing about the blind spots, and this was the conclusion, right? By becoming more self-aware and actively seeking to uncover blind spots, watch this, you open yourself for deeper healing, growth, and transformation. So this is how we're going to create the new wineskin, right? By allowing these things to uncover and release. And this is not warfare, y'all. This is not fighting. It's not going to take 100 years, because we're going to do the precursory work before we even go in. So those of you that are coming in to join us for the 8 weeks, there's going to be a time of consecration and focus and concentration before we even get to class on the 7th. And this class is not about just coming and getting information. That's not the major purpose of this gathering. The major purpose of this gathering is preparing yourself to make new room for the wine that wants to be poured in, the revelation, the insight, the wisdom. There's too many squatters taking up residence in the mental and emotional realm, and it's time for them to be evicted. So when we start seeking to uncover blind spots, we open ourselves to deeper healing, growth, and transformation. These previously hidden areas, watch this, can become a source of empowerment and wisdom once they are seen and consciously dealt with. So that's a whole, there's so much, it's just too much to even say today. Thought, question, comment, feedback. Thought, question, comment, feedback. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? What are you getting from this? What are you taking away from this today? As we prepare to come together, this is the last week for the early bird tuition. And so again, I'm going to go ahead and put that up. This is the link. That's the link. Go there. And this is the last week for the early bird tuition. I've let this run about 3 weeks already. And now we got to come on. Those of you that know this is for you, come on, let's go. Reese, I think I left you a message. I called you and left you a message, right? It's time to go. Can somebody talk back to me and say, it's go time, y'all. It's go time. It's go time. Make the investment in yourself. Make the investment in yourself because it's worth it, right? What does it mean to insulate yourself? It means that to insulate yourself means that, yes. Hey, thanks for joining us live. Brian, to insulate yourself means that you are surrounding yourself and you're in a bubble and you're surrounding yourself with people who are codependent with you, allowing you and supporting you to stay blind, because the more you don't see, the more you don't honor yourself, it benefits those kind of people. So when you insulate yourself, insulate and isolate can even go together. So for people who isolate yourself, you can insulate yourself with all your treats, your favorite shows, your 1 or 2 people that you may talk to, and you stay insulated there because it's safe. That's what we mean by insulated. And we all have insulation to a certain degree, right? You travel the same way to work. You do the same thing. For those of you I've seen you that have been traveling this year, that's a good thing. Getting yourself out, meeting new people. So when we insulate ourselves, that's another way that we keep ourselves comfortable. You have your people, you have your treats, you have your entertainment, and you stay locked in there. And we know people that have lived that way for years. They 20, 30, 40, 50 years insulated. We have to open up. Can we just take a breath, do this and do this, come up and just open that whole chest area. Open the chest area, because a lot of times, even when we're sitting slumped, we're guarding ourselves here. But come on, take a deep breath. Come up with those hands all the way up and open the chest and breathe. It is safe to be open. Thought, question, comment, feedback. Yes, I'm looking forward to be a part of the gathering. We will. Yes. Thank you, Weekly. It's go time. This is a special time, beloved. I said, it's not just another class. It's not another course. The main reason that we're coming together is because of the deposit that I know God wants us to make. It's time. It's go time. It's go time. It's go time. And this time, from me to you, I'm ahead of the game. I'm working it myself. This time, you're going to have the strength and the courage to discipline yourself. How are you going to do it? It's because of what you see, because of where you're going. Like I said, when we do a 1 in 7 in our community, we don't fight and wrestle with what we want to let go of. We don't fight and wrestle with what's wrong with me. Why am I so messed up? We don't do that. You just want to tap in and you want to ask, what is the one decision I want to make today? I want to create a new habit. As I'm doing, today is the 15th. And when we get skilled at this, like I'm skilled at the 1 in 7, I know how to do one. And then I don't do another one before 30 days. And I wouldn't even advise you to do one habit at a time, right? But when I get to 60 days in, then I could bring another one on. But I'm not letting go of the 60 because I'm just in a new mindset. I want to carry that another 30 days till I get a new lifestyle. When I get a new lifestyle, I still don't let go of that new habit. I take it 120 days, right? 150 days until it's just a part of my life. And then I bring another new habit on. 30 days, a new habit. 60 days, a new mindset. 90 days, a new lifestyle. So today is September 15th. I'm starting a new 1 in 7 today. Right? I started a new 1 in 7, 30 to 45 days ago. I'm 120 going to 150 on I started in May. So this is how you're going to do it. Working with yourself, one teeny tiny step at a time. All right, beloved, deep breath in and exhale. Let's sow seed today. Let's worship together. Let's worship together. If you heard anything that was good for you today, don't just hear and run. Don't do that. This is how we ended up going to church week after week after week after week after week. That's not what we do in our community. We're not here just to hear something good. We are here to get actively involved in our spiritual success. And worshiping is a part of your giving. Worshiping is not about jumping and shouting. That's why I purposely don't do that, not in this public forum, right? We don't do that. I'm not out here, shouting and speaking in tongues and all that. I still do that. But that is not what I wanted for this community and this public forum, right? There's a time for that. There's a place for that. When we worship without giving. We sacrifice. You want to tap into something and feel it. You want to feel what you're giving, right? And the first mention in Genesis, I and the lad will go and worship. What was he doing? Giving something, sacrificing something because he heard a word, right? When you hear something, sow into the word, get something tangible. For us, it's money. That's the thing that's the most tangible for us. That means something. And that's why I always say, get in where you fit in. Do 888, 988, 1988, 28. You want to feel it. And then you want to name that seed, because once you name that seed, because you see, the word see is in seed, because you see something now as a result of this word, sow into it. Sow into it, right? And when you sow into it, then you water it, and that sends your angels to start going to get everything that is necessary to start bringing that word into your life. This is why we couldn't get no results, because you would show up week after week after week, hearing, and faith without works is dead. Your sowing the seed is a working. It's a spiritual working. You got to know what you're doing. Don't hear this as she's asking for money. Come out of that level. I know we abuse that in the church. Y'all know there were some horrendous things. But let's bring this to where it needs to be. And I'm going to be done with this. And I'm not taking this long because I desire a gift. I'm taking this long so that you can get a different understanding, a different perception about what you're doing when you give of your substance. When you sow into a word, you're activating things. It's a prophetic act. It's a prophetic working that you're doing that signals the angels, that signal everything in the unseen realm. Hey, he's serious about this. He's naming that seed. We're going to get to work on that and water that seed. So now I want you to use your seed wisely. Use it wisely, right? For some of you, $9.88 or whatever it is not enough. You don't feel that. Go to what you feel. Everybody's at different faith levels, different financial levels. You get in where you fit in. Somebody may say, well, if I sow $588, I'll feel that. I won't necessarily miss it, but I'll feel it. That's the level that you sow at. That's the level that you water the seed at. The widow with the 2 mites. What did Jesus the Christ say? She gave all her living. And so when we give and we sow, God's not looking at what you gave. He's looking at what's left because you didn't feel what you gave. And so when we come into a community and give, I want us doing it together. Like while we're here together, you need to get your phone. Those are all the ways that you can give. Get your phone and go ahead and release a seed so that we worship together. All right, lovelies, let's take a good healing deep breath in and exhale. All right, don't forget, go to the website, go ahead on, do your investment, invest in your life, and I will see you guys perhaps one day this week. So be watching out for the notice that I go live one day this week. All right, lovelies, have a blessed, wonderful, and amazing rest of your day. Bye now. There weren't any questions, right? I didn't see any questions. Okay. I'm not even on the page. Let me go back to comments to make sure I didn't miss a question. Okay. Love you guys. All right.